Hello YouTube, the OG Delay Queen Quistis is coming back with an LD. Sounds like she delayed Zach's banner too. Where is he? Anyways, this is my poll plan series where I break information down quickly and go over my thoughts and plans on upcoming characters and events. I do play both JP and Global consistently, and I use my knowledge, experience, and research to help others. My goal is to help everyone make informed decisions on their own and not give answers. There's too many variables in this game, and I believe the best help you can give someone is showing them how to help themselves. Therefore, I go over my plans and my thoughts to kind of explain the process and hope you can come to your own conclusions. I cannot give you answers, just a perspective. That being said, go ahead in that same spirit, leave a comment down with your plans for the event, teams and polls. I do read all the comments, so don't hesitate to hit me up with questions. And while you're here, do me a favor, drop a like, subscribe to my channel. It helps me out tons, and be sure to check out the Ranting Hour, my weekly stream where I talk about Dissidia and other stuff with no filter. So let's get started. The banner for this event was Quistis LD, new, and a rerun of Palom's LD. Last stretch hopium for Zach to show up, but I doubt they'd run 2 new LDs. So if it's either we have a 6 or 7 day content gap, and then Zach comes whenever he does, or they're gonna throw something Zach related in here, hopefully. Fingers super crossed. Copium inject, maybe Angel LD global first alongside Zach, but whatever. We don't know where Zach is, but the focus here is Quistis. So let's talk about what she gets. And this is a heretic, by the way, but everyone kind of zooms through that content anyway, so it doesn't matter. Anywho, Quistis is getting a rework and an LD in level 80. Her skill 1 now debuffs turn rate down AoE. It does 50% splash with more hits. It also delays all targets by 1 turn, so now every button of hers delays except for her EX for now. Skill 2 gets 2 more uses at base for a total of 5, and now it's a double Brave plus HP attack that is instant turn rate, not free, so she'll get a turn right afterwards. That delays them 3 turns still. You can just be a degenerate and stand there and delay someone into infinity if you really want to, but it's still single target. The LD is where things get really spicy. Let's talk about the attack first. It's a party battery into an AoE, Brave plus HP, 100% HP damage to each target. It delays all targets by 2 turns, and it gives Quistis a use of her skill 2 back, the 3-turn delay. This is huge because it functionally means, along with the base skill uses of 5 that Quistis has on her skill 2, 3 recovered from LD, and 1 from her additional ability skill recovery. This means she actually has 9 uses of her skill 2 in total. The buff she gets from LD that she also starts the quest with, she gets a bump to her party buffs, which now include more attack up, more max brave, and she also gets brave damage up by 30% in max stacks, and party brave gain up by 20% in max stacks. This is equivalent to Porum and Agrius, and she gets these stacks for every turn an enemy does not take a turn. So think about Garland BT or Titus's Winning Spirit, for example. The really big thing though is that she now ignores delay resistance. So if an enemy says I cannot be delayed either through whatever description or frame turns, Quistis can now delay them. This is the gold frame debuff of delay immunity. Does that make sense? Never mind. She's got encouragement high armor to supplement her batteries, and she's got party leaning HP split high armor plus, which is pretty good. I'm a fan of those. Calls, base call, 3-turn delay skill 2, and her LD call delays all targets by 1 turn, not 2 like the LD, and it gives a small party brave gain up with 10%. Situationally good if you need delays on demand. As for her reruns, Quistis comes back on Yuri's Intertwined Will, where she gets level 90, EX upgrade, well, they're synonymous, and another skill rework. For my analysis and breakdown, Quistis is now the best delayer in the game simply because she ignores all forms of delay immunity. Frame turns are nothing to her. Having Brave gain up and Brave damage up in 1 aura buff is very, very nice. And she rises back to the top of her niche of having enemies take as few turns as possible with the unique turn rate down debuff, which means their turns are going to be a lot more spaced out and speed down. Well, actually, I don't know the difference between the two, but they help, okay? All of her buttons delay now except her EX, which gets fixed in her C level 90, but let's not talk about that as that's way down the line. Being able to string back-to-back skill 2s is also very helpful for delaying enemy turns. Weaknesses though, her actual damage is kind of garbage. I mean, no refund in between on skill 2. Skill 1 is still a double or a single HP attack, I should say. And EX doesn't feel that great to press either, plus it doesn't delay. So yeah, her damage really isn't it, but she's there to delay in the first place in battery. And the Brave gain up does help that. Additionally, I think she's only got like 90% attack aura, so she's not going to make your party hit terribly hard. She's there for the utility. Additionally, if the bosses need to take turns or are going to take their turns back, as we're going to see next month in Vein Cycle and Twin Cycle, for example, you're only delaying the inevitable with Quistis. They're going to come back, or you're going to get punished for sending them too far. So when they can delay and you don't get punished for it, she's fine. But if they need to take turns, it kind of doesn't work as well. But I mean that's par for the course. As for where she's useful, the only one that really stands out of my mind is Divine Bahamut way down the line. So don't think about that when you consider Quistis, because there's a lot of options for that. But other than that, I mean, any fight that doesn't need the boss to take turns, she's pretty much going to keep them away forever. Again, it's delay as a utility. It's either they can be delayed and they can be sent to the Shadow Realm, or they can't be. Divine Shiva in particular, I don't quite know, and I didn't take the time to research this, so please do it on your own. But I think because Divine Shiva has a reflect of delay and deletes mechanic, so if you delay or delete Shiva, you get that on you instead. But I think Quistis goes around that, but I'm not quite sure, so feel free to double check me on that. As for the event, there's a ton of misinfo about this event going on, so hopefully I can nail this down. The big thing is that you do not need Quistis LD to beat this fight. It appeared that way for people who don't double check, but in practice, this fight's actually pretty simple. The orb is +2 on 2 or more turns of delay, and +1 on 1 turn of delay, so any kind of delays will take it up. The max is 10, so you're going to prefer to keep delaying them the entire fight, but just manage it and you'll be good. The real trick here, though, is that at the beginning of the fight, and I think it's at like some middle HP threshold, the usual like 30, 50, I believe, I don't know the exact ones, but they start regenning HP unless they are delayed by 3 turns. This HP regen is 10%, so if you don't delay them quickly, they can recover at full HP. However, the thing that people don't realize is they only have 7 million HP. Now, usually I don't like to focus on numbers, but 7 million HP, you know, Reigns can do like 1 million off of one of his launches and follow-ups, so they actually don't have that much HP, and the HP recovery, if it does punish you a bit, it ends up just being you can get through it pretty much quickly again once you 3-turn delay them. And while Quistis and Cloud of Darkness are the only people in the game currently who can delay 3 turns to offset this condition, one, Cloud of Darkness rework and BT Plus comes out right after this, well, not right after this, but it's coming down the line alongside Bane in a week. So if you can't figure it out with Quistis in the party, you can get Cloud of Darkness there and come back. Additionally, though, Quistis, you only need to delay them 3 times throughout the fight each, so that's 6 delays. And how many delays does Quistis have in her base kit? 5 at base, 1 from skill recovery, and that's not even counting a friend Quistis. What I'm trying to say is you only need Quistis' 35 CP to do this fight, if you can play well enough. At the least resistance, obviously you'd have Quistis' LD in the party and be doing it with her and having a lot more breathing room, but it is possible not even having Quistis LD. You can have her at 35 CP, you can have her as a friend unit, as a call. There's a lot of ways to get around with this without LD Quistis in the party, and people will show that as this fight gets out, so don't fall for any misinformation there. Most people are not going to give this fight a turn. It's just the usual tier eyes. They can buff themselves up. I think they can paralyze you sometimes. Not really anything to note about this fight. Not super dangerous. They're also melee weak to sell Quistis' lack of damage even harder. You won't notice it until it's done a synergy. Yikes. Zach was synergy for this in JP, but it doesn't look like he will be in global. So more copium. I think they get it's either Brave or HP shield at some point too, but again, nothing we can't cut through. What are my plans for this event? I want Quistis, I'm a fan of her. I've always liked using her in the Chaos era, and I wish I had used her more in JP, but I kind of just wasn't feeling too motivated to do a lot of creative runs. So I want Quistis LD. I'm gonna get it somehow, and I'm gonna blue her armor because I want to run her a lot as well. And for the event, I'm thinking of running my dream Theorycraft team of Quistis LD, Sync LD, and Barrett LD, because you know Barrett's got the physical damage up. Although he won't be hitting weakness like the other two will, because it's not a range resist down. Rip. Get the delay calls on the deck with like Cypher and then Kurosame and Jack to slow him down and make us do more damage as well. And this fight should be manageable. I might try a non-Quistis in party run, but probably not because I'm lazy. I'm really mostly on Zach watch, to be honest. Anywho, that's all I got to say. Glad to see, or hopeful to see, some creative runs on this Quistis fight, because again, I won't be doing it, but I will always champion the people that do. Hope this has been helpful. If you appreciate it, go ahead and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, comment with your plans, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.